John Perry in the Bay, Whitley Nights, Hillsway, movie start.
Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck Movies. My name is John and Happy New Year to everybody. I hope 2025 is going to be a great year for everybody. I've got some pickups for you here, but first of all, I've got an unboxing for you. This comes from my good friend MackChats. Now, MackChats has been a good friend of the channel for a long time. I just want to say thank you once again for thinking of me and sending this across to me. He said it's something you'd like, but he didn't say anything else to what it would be, so I have not got a clue what this is. But I just want to thank you once again, Mac, for doing this for me. So what do I say in this case, nurse? Scissors, please. Actually, there is a note here, so I'll get the note out first. Hey, John, just a little something for you, as I know you're a big fan of the film, like myself. I wanted to send you on some DVDs also, but I didn't have the packaging, and we wanted to get this to you before the Christmas madness. Well, it's just arrived today, so it's probably been caught up a bit in the Christmas madness. This is 27th of December. I'm surprised, I'm really surprised I got through the door. Hope you like it, I'm sure I will. Keep up the videos and happy Christmas to you and yours. In brackets, can you believe I have a test this Tuesday and they want 1,200 words in this handwriting? My God. Davey Matt. Well, I hope your test went all right. But good luck for that. If it's happened, it might have happened already because this is Friday, so it might have happened on the Tuesday. I'll take this out. You will see it when I see it. Oh, this could be. I think there's something in there. I think I'll take it out of this way. And you will see it when I see it because I don't want to see the back of this packaging. Oh my God. You can't hear that, but that is tin. But I've never ever seen anything like that. That is amazing. Lucio Fulci Zombie. Yes, I am quite a fan of that. Look at that as well. That's amazing because it looks like, you know, the Jaws. Actually, I thought it was Jaws for a minute when I saw it. I've never seen that picture before. You've got the girl up there. If you don't know Zombie, Lucio Fulci Zombie or Zombie Flesh it is. This is amazing, this. There is a part where a zombie fights a shark, a real shark, and it's one of the best scenes I've seen. And for a low budget film like Zombie or Zombie Flesh it is, it's done really well. And I think it's so weird and creepy. I've never seen anything like it ever again. These days it wouldn't be attempted by a real person, it would be CGI. And then you've got the swimmer up there, because there's a swimmer knocking about and she bumps into this, as you do, when you go and searching around a coral reef, you go and bump into a zombie having a fight with a shark and then eating it. That is absolutely amazing. That just, I don't know. And this could be, this is going up in the studio. It is a studio, not a garage. Now, what I plan to do with my studio this year, I just plan to get it back to where it should be. I want it to be as good as it can be because it was really tidy and everything was in its place. I need to get it back where it was, and also I've got a few things to put up in there in the studio, and this is one of them. That is absolutely amazing. I have never ever in my life seen that. Didn't even know that was a thing. I'll put this on here. So this is going to look amazing in the studio when I get it cleaned up. It is a studio, it's not a garage. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate this. I've got your note in there for the moment. But honestly, absolutely brilliant. So thanks once again, Davey. You played a blinder here, mate. Cheers. So before I show you what I picked up in the past week, the other day, about 2 days ago, I signed up for the yearly subscription for Vinegar Syndrome, and I can't wait to take a dive into that. I've been thinking about this for quite a few years. It's just never worked out so I can do it. But this year I thought, right, I've got the chance to do it. So I went ahead. And I'm just busy at the moment trying to navigate the site and find out where everything is. And I want to give a big shout out to my good friend Martin Cully. I've been backwards and forwards with him on Instagram. I've been picking his brains, and he's been giving me a load of tips and hints on how to get the best out of the Vinegar Syndrome website. And also I can't wait to get into this sale. As you know, up there, here's my Vinegar Syndrome stuff at the minute, and I have such a blast with their stuff. I've got some more stuff down there, and I'm so eager to see what this sale's like, because I've been after it, doing it for quite a while. And as I say, it's just been out of my reach. But this year I thought I can do it. So it might be just a one-off. I'll be giving you updates on what I get throughout the course of the year. And at the end of the year, I will tell you if I thought it was worth it or not. And if it is worth it, I may keep it up next year, or maybe it's just going to be a one-off. So I'm really excited this year to take the plunge into Vinegar Syndrome and see what happens. So I'll keep you informed, but I can't wait. Also this year, I want to take a deep dive through the Italian collection. I want to talk about all the films that have been in there thus far. What I will do is I'll go back to the first lot. I will go through the whole lot. I will do a deep dive into them and I'll talk about how they're going to get, the 4Ks are going to come into this process as well. With this collection now starting 10 years ago, I thought it'd be a great time to go through it. Plus as well, it's getting some 4K upgrades as well. So it's all good. This is my favorite collection. So I think on the first video, I'll start with spine numbers 1 to 5. I want to do videos that aren't too long, but I want to go into more details than I have done in the past. I did do a previous one on them ones, but it was 3 years ago. I couldn't believe it was like that long. So I thought this is high time I got round to going back to this one and talking about all the ones that I didn't talk about on those videos. So first up, for Christmas, of Matthew's girlfriend, Joni, who always gets me a Blu-ray or something on Christmas, I got Mark Cousins' The Story of Film, An Odyssey. This is on DVD. This is from Network, I believe. Yeah, Network. And I've never known that this was out on any form of physical media. So weirdly enough, I never give Joni any heads up that I even liked or had seen this before. Now, back in the day, this was on Channel 4 and I used to watch it religiously. But I don't think I saw every single episode. There is a lot of episodes here. It does say it doesn't tell you how many episodes there is, but I know that the running time on this is absolutely massive. And I remember when I watched this, I thought that the Mark Cousins, when he narrates this and he shows you all about cinema, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. If you haven't seen it, I don't know how you're going to check this out. You might want to buy the DVD of it. It is astounding how he's put this thing together. And I remember watching it and thought this is great. And this, I think this is a while ago now, maybe 10 years ago. But I had such a blast when I was watching this. So big thanks to Joni, Isla and Joe for thinking of me at Christmas. I can't wait to get stuck into this one. So first up from CX, I got for 12 quid on 4K, Edge of Tomorrow, or Live, Die, Repeat. I think you can use the both titles on there. This is something that I remember when it came out. I think there was a special edition of this. There was also a slipcover, and I thought, I'll just wait till it comes down in the 2 for £30 sale when I like to get most of my 4Ks. And of course it did, but the slip was just gone. When I saw this here, I thought, I can't believe it. There's a slip there, and it's actually in good condition as well. So one of the reasons why I wanted to pick up with this, I did have it on Blu-ray. It's a great film, by the way. I think Tom Cruise, when he's good, and also Emily Blunt is absolutely brilliant in this as well. I remember that Keith from Euphoria Pictures linked to his channel down below. He was going on about when he picked up the special edition, and he said that the sound on this was one of the best sounds he's ever heard in his life. So I was interested to see what it sounded like on my system. So, and when I put it on, he wasn't joking. It is just one of the most bombastic soundtracks you have ever heard in your life. The explosions, everything in it, the bass in it was just astounding. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. So yeah, so I agree with you, Keith. It is just unreal. And also the picture quality in here is great in here as well. So if you're a fan of this film and you see it out in the wild, I urge you to pounce right on it because you don't see this very often. So that's Edge of Tomorrow. Also as well in CEX for £4 on 4K, I got Sausage Party. Now this is one of the most puerile and childish movies you will ever see, and therefore I think it's brilliant. It is really over the top. It's not everyone's taste, but if you like that sort of gutter humour, then you'll have a blast with this. And the 4K on it looks absolutely stunning. Of course it does, because this has always looked good. I mean, these sort of CGI movies, they look brilliant. You'll never get one that looks bad because the colours are the star of the show, even on Blu-ray. But on 4K, this is another one that I think I saw way back in the day it came out, and it was on my radar, and then it just vanished from circulation. And I was just amazed to see this thing. I've never seen it anywhere else apart from the early days of when it came out on 4K in HMV, and then just jumped on it when I see it. So that was another unexpected title in CX. We don't find many of them these days. So that's Sausage Party. So next in HMV for $11.99 on Blu-ray, I got Soldja Blue. Now I've been after this for a long time. When it came out, I thought I've got to get this film because I had it on VHS. It looked great on VHS, and of course it was a hard one to get. I think the VHS was cut slightly. I remember I put this on to check it out, and immediately I think the first 5 minutes someone gets shot in the face, and the face gets blown off. And I thought, yeah, it is as bad as it. I remember it. Now I don't think I've seen the full uncut one, as I said, and I don't know if this is the fully uncut one. I think there's bits that have been left out, but I think this is the best one you can get up until now, I think. And it's been that long since I've seen it, and I remember when I watched it, I couldn't believe what I was seeing actually for a Western to be that graphic and that brutal. And I know that there's going to be more stuff in this for this to watch this one. So as soon as I saw it when it came out, I mean, it was only £15 when it came out. This Cult Classics range is a great range. And I did think it was going to be out on 4K. It might even be out on 4K. I don't know. But when I saw this for $11.99, I thought, yeah, I've got to check this out because it's been that long since I've seen it. Can't wait to see it. Actually, at the moment, I'm getting a little bit more back into my westerns, especially spaghetti westerns. More about that on a forthcoming video. So, highly recommended this if you like your westerns to be ultra realistic and graphic. That's Soldja Blue. Next up is another film that I've been wanting to get for a long time. And I keep looking in HMV and it's never come down in price. Of course, it'll probably be down in price next week. Of course it will. So for £20.99 on 4K, I got Peep and Tom. This is such a great film. It's one of those ones when it came out, I think it was 1960 when it came out in 1961. It was really out there. I don't think anybody was quite prepared for this. I think it's quite tame by today's standards, but you've got to put your 1960s hat on. Don't forget I wasn't around in them days before you say it. And the colours in it, it does talk about in the special features saying it's a bit more like a Suspiria, like sort of look to it. And I do agree with that. I think the fellow who, when he shot it, he did pay a lot of attention to where he put the colours because this is a colour film in 1960, quite unusual, but he really played with the colours. And the casting here is absolutely sensational. The main character, he's so strange with him having this strange obsession, shall I say. But the 4K on here looks absolutely stunning. I knew it would do because I've seen the Blu-ray before and I know the Blu-ray looks really nice. It's always looked nice, this one. It's one of those ones with that 60s colour. And the 60s colour really comes through, I think, especially on 4K if it's done right. And this one has been done really well. Obviously, it's released by Studio Canal. They're vintage classics. So, yeah, it's got everything going for it. And if you're in the mood for something that's a little bit bizarre, and just think about the time it was released around about the same time as Psycho. Psycho was actually really out there at that time. I would imagine the people, when they went to see it at that time, would have thought, what on earth are we watching here? Like nothing they've seen before. I really like these groundbreaking movies. Actually, the fella who made it, this Michael Powell, he literally did finished his career off big style when it came out. I think people just couldn't get their heads around it, and he was one of these people. A bit like when they released Todd Browning released Freaks, he released that, and that was the end of his career basically. So yeah, some of these films, they even though, like I say, tame by today's standards, you've got to think about what impact this had when it came out. Great film, highly recommended, beautiful 4K. That's Peep and Tom. I can really say that these lot here that I've picked up in general are ones I've been after for such a long time. So next up, for $17.99 on Blu-ray, I picked up Death Game. Now this is released, strangely enough, by Grindhouse Releasing from America. And this is, I would say, the first time they've released anything in the UK. Now, Grindhouse released some brilliant stuff, and they haven't done anything for a little bit. Unfortunately, I think that's due to the sad passing of Sage Stallone, Sylvester Stallone's son, in tragic circumstances. What a shame that was. And I think that derailed their output for quite a while. But I think they might be coming back with a vengeance, hopefully. Now, I remember, I think it was Nige, linked to his channel down below, Rockhard 2004. He was talking about this set, and he was saying how good it was. And I thought I'm going to have to start picking these things up again. Now, when I saw this originally, I think I saw this maybe a couple of months ago, and I looked at it and I thought, who's released this? And I thought, oh, that's what Nige was talking about. And then when I looked into it, I thought, oh, it's Grindhouse. And I thought, get in. But I think it was really, really expensive, maybe about 25 quid. And I thought, wow, I couldn't believe how much it was. But anyway, when I saw it for $17.99, I thought, right, now's the time to pounce. Now, when I looked at this further, when I put it on, I've got to see the picture quality on it. It's Grindhouse. It's got that lower look to it, although it's a 4K remaster. And when you get, there's some grainy segments in it when you get transitions and credits. But when it goes into the proper scenes, the picture quality in here looks absolutely pin sharp. It's amazing, actually. Wasn't expecting it to look this good. So even in the sale, you might think £17.99 is a little bit expensive for a Blu-ray. But think again, you get 2 discs in here. You get another bonus movie in here because it says, and other surprises. Well, that is another film. And also you get a colossal amount of special features on here. I don't think I've ever seen so many special features on a release, if I'm honest. It is absolutely astounding. So highly, highly, highly recommended if you're collecting stuff like this. I think this is the first time Grindhouse have ever put anything out in the UK. I do trust their stuff. I've got plenty of stuff of theirs from the US, and I think they do a great job. And hopefully they'll be putting out some more stuff in the future. I know they have the Beyond, the Lucio Fulci masterpiece. Hopefully, I know they've been putting it around in the cinemas. Hopefully they can finally get it out on 4K. That would be utterly amazing. I can't wait for that if it happens, and I think it's going to happen this year. So really happy to pick this up, and it'll take a long time to get around this set. That's Death Game. Next up was another film I picked up and looked at it loads of times. And I have seen the sale before, but this time I thought, right, it's in a great sale. And for $14.99, I picked up the 4K of Wages of Fear. This has got a lot of praise. When people talk about this film, I think it's from about 1950. They speak of it in high regards. It is a French film and it takes place in the desert, I believe. I've heard a lot of people talking about how good this looks on 4K, and they're not wrong. This film's shot outside mainly, and it looks absolutely sensational. The level of detail you can see in stones and stuff like that, and sort of objects, the cars, everything. It looks great. There is a fine level of grain in it, but I would rather have that than if anybody put any DNR in it and actually smooth it out. It just would have looked wrong. But again, it's a 4K in black and white, and done right, like this one, they look absolutely sensational. So that's the Wages of Fear. So lastly, I went across to the 2 for £30 section. And first I got A Nightmare on Elm Street. L. Michael?
Where's me ladders?
Yeah, The Nightmare Before Christmas. I've been looking at this quite a few times. And when it came out, when it was talked about, I thought, because I know that my son had watched this on DVD countless times, and we've watched this through that, being on the TV ages ago. And I knew that we really enjoyed this film, and I thought I will get it on 4K when I heard about it coming out, because I know how good it looked on DVD. And Tim Burton just has this knack of being in the gothic realm like no other director. Now, speaking of that, with Nosferatu coming out, I know that it's meant to be done really well. I've always thought that Tim Burton would have done an amazing job on Nosferatu, just because I thought he would have given it that look, but he might have made it a little bit less spooky and a bit more comedic, maybe. But anyway, it's just a bit of a thought. I thought I might just mention that. I will be going to see Nosferatu quite soon. I'm looking forward to it. I love the original one, and I've got great hopes for this one coming up. I think it'll look great in the cinema. So yes, so this one here looks fantastic on 4K. But the slipcover, I thought the slipcover was up. I didn't know it was that good. When I picked it up, I thought, wow, this is a really, the slipcover is like selling it to me. If I didn't know about this film before, I would have definitely looked into it because of the slipcover thing. Now, getting back to slipcovers, everybody knows that Vinegar Syndrome have the most amazing slipcovers, and that's one of the best things I'm hoping for. On the back of that, I'm going to link down below a video from Dan's Movie Cave, and it was a live stream that were done last week. There was Dan, Carlos, Jeff, Nige, and myself, and we talked about physical media in 2024 and 2025 and what we thought about various companies. So if you haven't seen it, do check that link out down below because I had such a blast doing it. Now, one of the things I did talk about was obviously Vinegar Syndrome and their slipcovers. But getting back to this one, I think it's great to see like a major label putting out one that's got a little bit of something to it rather than just very plain. And I do think that there needs to be more thought about slipcovers, especially with the majors. Just put a bit more effort into it, I think, because if they can't do it if they want to. A lot of the boutique labels do the most amazing slipcovers. So that's just a hope for 2025. Although sadly, I don't think it'll happen. But this one looks absolutely great. So the slipcover on this one really sold that to me. So that's not A Nightmare on Elm Street. It is The Nightmare Before Christmas. So last up in the 2 for £30 4K sale is Perfect Days. Now, I've been looking at this for quite a while, mainly because it's directed by Wim Wenders, who is one of my favourite directors of all time. He did Paris, Texas, and Wings of Desire, amongst other things. This is released obviously by Mubi as well, and now Mubi released these world cinema titles, which I'm a big fan of, and mainly on Blu-ray, and the Blu-rays look exceptional. So I thought I would wonder what 4K would look like. And obviously with it's set in Japan as well, which I'm a big fan of Japanese films. The 4K on here, I can only describe it like you're actually in the film. It's so crystal clear. I mean, it's a brand new film. Why wouldn't it be? But it's just got that look to it that it's just absolutely, it's astounding actually. And I knew it would be. I knew I was going to get some that had covered in grain and it was all, just like a mess. I know that the amazing Robbie Mueller is not around these days, unfortunately. So he's not been able to put a stamp on here, but I think Wim Wenders has actually carried that on with this look. He's got this eye for cinema, and I think it just looks incredible. I don't know too much about the story, but what I will do is when I watch these films, I'll do like what I've watched in the month of January, for instance. I'll try and keep that going for the whole year, which I never seem to do. And I'll talk more about what I find with these films. Now, the main reason why I'm not talking about it is because I don't know anything about it, apart from the fact that this fella cleans toilets in Japan for a living. And that's as far as I know. But I do know whenever I watch Wim Wenders films, I have a great time with them. That's Perfect Days. So really happy to pick these ones up. I've got some titles been after for quite a while. I've got them in sales as well, so that's always good. And also a big thank you to MackChats Davey for sending this across to me. It's absolutely brilliant. And don't forget to go down and check those channels out down below. So thanks for watching. You take care and have a great 2025. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.